For me, the setup is key. Now, if we look at the left-hand one, how far back that club is, you do not want to be in the sand back there. A, it puts the shaft a long way forward, which de-lofts it again and increases the leading edge. It's sharper and more diggy, okay? And then what you then got to try and do to hit the right amount of sand sort of behind the ball, as we said, somewhere around kind of here, you've got to move that club to there as you're swinging. So you're trying to guess how much movement left's going to require. Well, that's going to vary from shot to shot, isn't it? Sometimes you'll get it right, sometimes not. Sometimes you get the sand back here, as you see in this case when you come through, because you're sort of not as wide as you want to be, not as wiggled in as I want to see, okay? And the weight's not as far forward. Look at your contact. You basically hit the ball pretty much clean there, okay? A smidgen amount of sand maybe, okay?
Yeah,
but if we look at that setup, that's a lot wider, weight's a lot left. Shaft for me now is more vertical, okay? As we swing here now, you think 50-yard shot off grass, you're hitting the sand there. So there's no that inch of sand behind the ball. Inch, 2 or 3. It's not far.
That
no,
much.
Exactly.
It's
No,
not that much.
But if you start off, again, trying to hit the sand somewhere there and there with a club there or there, you'll come back more like there and there.
Yeah.
If you're trying to hit the sand here but starting over here, you've got to move to that bit.
Yeah.
When I say hammering a nail into a bit of wood, you wouldn't start with a hammer away from there and try and move into the nail. You'd be up and down there. So wherever you want to be striking the sand, okay, is where that club wants to start. If you set up wider, wigglier, and weight left, okay, all the W's, okay, think about those 3 W's, okay, wider, wiggle, weight left, okay, get that position left there so you can then slide the club underneath it. We're not going to have the club way back here trying to move during the swing. And as a ballpark figure, we sort of said 30-yard shot off grass, with a 58 gave you a 11-yard or 10-yard shot out of the bunker. Generally speaking, I'd say a 56, which is a sand dine, would then be a 15-yard shot, when it could be a bit longer. Okay, when you're at 52, you're going a little bit further again. So again, don't be afraid to try different clubs. If you've got...
I need my 56 back in again then.
Maybe. If you've got space in the bag to put in there, it'd be worth trying it,
If you were going to take pick wedges, which one would you...
Mine are 4... I go 46 on my pitching wedge, I go 50, 54, 60. So I've got 4, 4, 4, 6 gap. So that's just my personal thing. If you've got 52, 58...
64.
You got 64 of you?
No, I haven't.
You haven't, yeah.
But I'm thinking about it.
That's probably... If you're thinking of going for a different one, I would then potentially go 52, 56, 60 if you're going to get a different... I wouldn't go 64 because that's just...
This one's probably going to go anyway.
Okay.
So I'm probably... And I know that I've got the 52.
So your pitching wedge, that's the 52, don't you? So you've got 58's going to go, yeah?
58's
Okay.
going to go.
So the 58's going to go. So if you've got 52, I would suggest then probably go 56 and then 60.
Right, okay.
I would say if you're going to get rid of that 58 and stuff. So yeah, that's a small 4-yard gap
probably
between.
Probably going to go about 15.
Exactly. But again, roughly speaking, about half the distance you'll get off grass will be from a bunker. So if a 30-yard shot from grass would give you a ballpark figure of 15 yards, assuming you hit the sand, obviously. If you miss the sand, it goes 30 yards. If you hit way too much sand, it might go 3 yards. But that's where by getting a nice wider...
ratio.
50%. Again, it's not an exact number, obviously. It's just a guide to some people to give you an understanding of when it's going this far, how much I got to try to hit the golf ball. Because if we're guessing, we're doubting, we're quitting, we're thinning or duffing in the sand. So having a clear image in your head, even if it's slightly wrong, I think the best example of that, when I go into it's a bit different sort of part of the game, I do it under a putting green or a green reading course. Did this green reading course with aim point. The first 3 or 4 months having done this aim point course, I was probably not reading the greens perfectly, but in my head I was, so I hold so many putts because I was hitting some good putts. I started them on what was actually the correct line, confident it was going to go in, and I was giving some good rolls. How many times have you been over a 10, 15 foot putt? Was it left edge or just outside left edge? You spend half an hour working at the break and leave it halfway short anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're thinking about, is it left edge or low, and you quit on it. Because I had a clear, okay, this putt is 4 inches left of the hole, 4 inches, okay, boom. I may start at 6 inches left or 3 inches left, but it was going in because I was having some good, confident strokes towards the hole, and they were popping in. So
it's one thing I've noticed as well since the putting I was struggling with. Now the greens is more true and hitting those holes. Really
and the thing is, when the greens are a bit bobbly, okay, any error in the swing, if you're getting any sort of error in the roll slightly, gets magnified on bobbly greens. If a ball's not rolling perfectly this way, there's a slight indentation, it just bobbles off and it makes it look, a 15 foot putt might miss by 3 foot, that's rubbish. But just the greens being a slightly uneven surface. So good stuff, okay, so